All right. Well, here we are, about 1 week post-Olympia. I guess it's Monday following the Olympia, so I think we're 9 days post-show. And I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys and just kind of recap the weekend and let you know how I'm feeling about how the show went and plans moving forward and all that good stuff. First off, I just want to thank the IFBB and everybody in that organization that's doing everything they are to make our sport what it is today. So thank you guys. You guys ran an amazing show. I had a lot of fun. And it was honestly a blessing to be on that stage. Obviously, I got 15th out of 17 competitors. And it's not exactly what I wanted, but honestly, I'm not upset about it. I've had a lot of DMs and messages from you guys asking how I feel. And honestly, any way you cut it, we're talking top 15 in the world. And that is an incredible feat, especially being that it's my first year as a professional. And it's my rookie season. It's only my second pro show, and I'm standing on the Olympia stage with the best in the world. So, how I'm feeling is elated. Honestly, I'm incredibly proud. I'm satisfied, and I feel amazing about how my rookie season went. Now, did I want to do better? Of course. We always want to do better. Watching these guys come up in the first, second, third call out, and realizing I was in that last call out, it was a bit upsetting at first. It was something I had to digest. Coming home that night, Friday night, I'm not gonna lie, I was bummed. I was upset. I felt like I could have done better, and I questioned what I could have done. And but once you reassess everything and you look at it for what it was, I don't feel like I could have done anything more. Matt and I really, I feel, nailed our peak. That was definitely the biggest and fullest I've been on stage. Conditioning was very good. I was very happy with where conditioning was. And honestly, conditioning was better than Chicago, and my weight was right around 5 pounds heavier. So the improvements I made from Chicago to the Olympia are, amazing. I was very happy with that. To be able to improve almost, actually it was 222 on the dot in Chicago, and then 227.4, I believe, heading into the night show at the Olympia with better conditioning. So I feel like that is a 5 pound legit tissue gain between shows. And that's pretty profound if anybody understands the metrics of bodybuilding. To be able to do that within 15 weeks makes me very excited for what I'm able to do moving forward. So I think that's just a testament to how well things went from Chicago into the Olympia. Honestly, there's just so much less stress. I think Chicago, it being my pro debut, I knew that there was a lot of eyes on me. Everybody was talking about me. Everybody had me, being one of the top guys in the show. A lot of people were projecting me to win the show. And it was just a lot of pressure, that being my first time on a professional stage, never standing next to these other guys. And coming into Chicago, there were 4 Olympians in that lineup. Standing next to John De La Rosa, who was an Olympian, a show winner, and Blessing, who had just won 2 shows the previous year and competed at the Olympia. Stan, who was also an Olympian, and let's not forget that we had Patrick Moore, who was a top 10 Olympian a few years ago. So this is a pretty stacked lineup of guys, and it was a very competitive show, and I was, in the discussions of being amongst these top guys, so I felt a lot of pressure. Now, I was confident in myself, and I felt very good about what I could do, so ultimately I went there with the mission of winning that show, winning my pro debut, and we did just that. But coming into the Olympia on the back end of that, nobody was talking about me. There were no discussions. I wasn't in anybody's predictions for their top 10s, so it was one of those things where the only pressure on me was the pressure I was putting on myself. And I did put some pressure on myself. I wanted to do well. This Olympia debut meant a lot to me. And, but I just feel like my body was a lot more responsive in that 15 weeks, especially considering I was already in shape. But really, my body was just playing ball. We didn't have to push as hard. Cardio never got as high. Food never got nearly as low as it did for Chicago. Chicago prep, food got very low, and cardio was right up to about 2 hours daily. So I think just being able to manage the stress and having my body work with me a little bit more, and then just not having to push as hard, just yielded a better outcome. Now, the Olympia, it's one of those things that, these 2-day shows are new to me. It's not something I've ever done. So stepping on stage, we're talking about stepping on stage at 10:30 p.m. Usually I'm in bed by then. So it's just a little bit different of a dynamic. So I think kind of nailing your peak can be a little bit harder when you're talking about peaking past your bedtime. Usually we're talking about peaking in the morning time, waking up, having a few meals, and getting on stage, maybe 11 a.m., 12 p.m. So this is just a different ball game. Luckily, I have an incredibly seasoned and very good coach, Matt, who was able to guide me through the process and help me peak. And I felt like Friday night we were very good. I was very happy with the level of fullness, conditioning that we brought, and ultimately that's all I really cared about, was just kind of nailing my look. And to me, that was the best look I've had to date. And I'm very, very proud. I'm very happy. And, the fact that my family was there and able to share it with me, and I got to meet so many of you guys, that if you got anybody watched the previous video of the Meet the Olympians, I had a very good lineup of people there that wanted to meet me, that, told me they were inspired by me, inspired by my story. And those things mean a lot. It's not anything I take for granted. When somebody stands in a line just to meet me, it's humbling. And I'm never going to allow myself to be jaded by that. I'm never going to allow myself to be jaded by the people that support me watching these videos. So ultimately, I just feel very, very fortunate to have this journey and to be able to have this career. And this is just year 1. So it's just the very beginning of a long career, and to start it off with a pro win and an Olympia debut, I don't think I could ask for a better rookie season. So moving forward, I think, upon the discussions with Matt, we just need to be bigger. If I want to be in the top call out with these guys, I just need to be bigger, plain and simple. And the fact is, I'm new to this. I did my first show in 2019. I competed as a light heavyweight, 4 years ago. And, so I've had a pretty swift trajectory to the top. Somebody was comparing me to Derek. And, while I appreciate the comparisons, but a lot of people were saying that, hey, maybe you should do classic because these guys have so much more muscle than you. Well, the fact is, in 2018, when Derek was second at the Olympia, I hadn't even competed in a bodybuilding show. I was a guy who was completely natural, 180 pounds, never even been to a bodybuilding show. And, these guys were Olympians already. Most of that top 10 were already professionals before I even did my first show ever at a local level. So I know that it's just a matter of time and that I've got dues to pay, and I think you don't build a world-class physique in a short period of time, and I've been doing this only a short period of time. So I just know that it's just a matter of putting in the years and putting in the time and building that tissue to where I can push into those top spots. And I truly believe in myself, and I know that in 2 to 3 years' time, I'm going to be in those top spots. I believe that 100%. I don't really question it at all. Now, that being said, I think, again, discussing with Matt our move for the next year, I think I'm going to be taking 2024 completely off. Now, if Matt and I feel like I've improved enough towards the end of the year, towards the end of the competitive season, maybe we will look at a show. But my feeling, his feeling, it's just so late in the year already. I need time off. My body's tired. We've been competing. July I competed, and then here in November I competed. I've been dieting since February. So really, we're talking about, 9 months of dieting. So it's time for me to take a break. And looking at 2024, we just didn't feel like there was enough time to progress, and I really want to take the time I need to be my very best the next time I step on stage. So the tentative plan right now is looking at something early 2025, spend the entire year 2024 progressing, improving, and really my goal is just to continue to get strong. I really need to take my body to places it's never been, and I think that load exposure is going to be the way I do that. To be perfectly honest, I really just need to focus on getting strong and pushing myself, and just the daily consistencies. I mean, we all know what it is: cardio, eat, train, sleep, repeat. And I think that looking at how my body responded between the 15 weeks between shows, I think that I just do better when I'm in maybe even a slight deficit. I think keeping myself hungry, keeping insulin sensitivity and nutrient sensitivity in a good place, and then just kind of feeding around my heavier days, like my leg days, my back days, which I need to improve. I want to improve my legs and my back. So that will be the priority. I think I'm going to be building a split that's going to be heavily favoring those body parts. And then, just a mixture of high days and maintaining good nutrient sensitivity, and then just kind of balancing body fat to make sure I don't push up too high, because we just found that honestly my body seemed to respond very well to maintaining low body fat, low food, and just the consistency of being hungry and my body utilizing those nutrients as efficiently as possible. And I think that's kind of the key for me. Now, some guys need to push hard and push their body into those ranges and really drive calories to get a response, and we just found that for me, I just didn't need to do that. Having those 5 pounds in that 3 months, you extrapolate that across the year, that could be a 15-pound year if you maintain that trajectory. Now, obviously things like anabolics and the rebound out of the show, those things do play a factor, and I'm not here saying they don't. But that will be the plan for us, just to kind of maintain a leaner physique, and then just kind of feed up around those days that I want to improve. So that's where we're at. I think we're going to take 2024 completely off and just focus on improving. I'm not in a big rush here. I love the journey. I love training. I love improving. I love obsessing over my logbook. That's really bodybuilding to me. The day in, day out, eating my meals, and just staying locked in and regimented, doing my cardio every morning. These things all are so important, and it's such it needs to be just such a consistent thing in your life. It's really a lifestyle. And I don't personally feel like I need to be competing actively to be a bodybuilder. I love bodybuilding. I love the day in, the day out, the monotony. You guys know that I always say married to the monotony, So that's something that I'm looking to really exemplify this off season, is just locking in and marrying myself to the monotony of bodybuilding, the day in, day out, and just really focusing on becoming the very best version of myself, and then come out swinging in 2025. Now, that's not to say, again, that if things go very well, you might see me in 2024. But right now, that's my plan. And it starts now. So today is my back and hamstring day. I'm going to head in and train. Honestly, I've been a little sick since we got home. That's kind of why you guys haven't seen me since the show. I got home, and it's just a minor chest cold, sinus congestion, nothing crazy. But I've just spent the last week kind of decompressing, digesting how the weekend went. It's been a really good excuse just to kind of force myself to relax, fall into my routine, get back to homeostasis. And now that I'm back home, you know, my bedtimes are consistent again, my meal timings are consistent again. All of these things are aligning. All these things really matter, you know, when you talk about your trajectory for your off season and the rebound post-show phase. Now I feel like I'm in a good place to kind of attack things. I'm still going to play it safe. You know, we're still in that post-show phase where, you know, there is the matter of just having to approach things delicately, slowly, and kind of build back to where you were prior to the show. But I feel good. I feel ready to attack things. I have my HD pre-workout here. So I'm going to sip this. We're going to go train. But again, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank HD Muscle. I want to thank Train by JP, my clothing sponsor. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting me through my rookie season 2023. Honestly, you guys have been amazing. The amount of support I've received from HD Muscle and JP, you guys have made this so easy on me as an athlete. You guys have just allowed me to be myself and allowed me to represent you the way I see fit. And I'm just very grateful to have you guys in my corner. We're going to go train, all right? Thank you guys. We are back in the home base for back and hamstrings. So this is actually going to be my first week back training. I did train a little bit last week, but I'm not really counting it. I just kind of came in and got a pump, and then I got sick, and then I just chilled for the rest of the week. So this is week 1, and I'm going to fire into some back training, back and hamstrings. Got Jasmine back here. She's also training some back. She's actually 4 weeks out from nationals right now, so that's pretty exciting. But yeah, let's get some training underway. Boom. Well, I may have gotten a little overexcited with the deadlifts. I just put on 5 plates. I pulled it. As you guys see, I just pulled it for a triple. I mean, the weight felt fine. It moved just fine. I just felt like a little pinch in my groin. And that's something that I felt, I'd say 6 weeks ago during prep. And just kind of flared up again. It really didn't feel like anything. I just don't want to push things. You know, this close to the show, like coming out of the shows, there's no real need to be pushing things. And yeah, it really wasn't an issue of load. I think I could have pulled that for an easy 8-10 reps or whatever. Just I just had to pull back because that just didn't feel right. So I'm gonna drop a plate and pull 405 and just play it safe. Shit, that just felt weird, and no need to push things if it feels weird. All right, training is done. We're back home and having our post-workout meal. I'll show you guys what I've got here. I've got chicken, rice, avocado, and a little bit of pineapple. So yeah, that's session 1 in the books. First week back of training. Yeah, everything felt really good, honestly. Everything was moving and grooving. You know, no need to really push things right now. So just kind of taking things slow. Obviously, the deadlifts didn't go exactly as planned, but honestly, it wasn't really a big deal. It was just something didn't feel exactly right. So I figured best to not push things. But yeah, no hard failure sets. We're not like focusing on being progressive right now, just kind of getting back in the groove of training. But yeah, everything felt really good, and I'm super excited for what's to come. But yeah, I'm gonna eat my meal and just relax, call it a night, and chill out. And I appreciate you guys watching, and we will catch you on the next one.